Good morning, everyone. How are you doing? So we're going to do a quick recap of the other day's Connect group, and we looked at the immensity and the imminence of God. And we were looking at 1 Kings chapter 8, and you remember that classic moment Solomon was dedicating the temple, and he gave that amazing prayer. The heaven of heavens could not contain you, much less this house. And we saw two things going on: Solomon proclaiming that the heaven of heavens could not contain you, but also that God's presence was manifest so thick in that place, the priests could not stand to minister. So we have two things going on here. We have the immensity of God and the imminence of God. The fact that God is so big, the entire universe couldn't contain him. And the fact that God is so present in such a tangible way that people could not even stand anymore. The presence of God was so thick in that place. So I want to share a few thoughts here. The first is that God is immense. And we need to have that revelation that when God looks at this earth that we're so enamored with, he sees things, as Julian of Norwich once said, as a hazelnut. He sees this earth as a mere hazelnut. It's small to him because he is so immense. And we need to have that idea when we're enamored with the trinkets of this world, that sometimes this world really is to God just a hazelnut. The second thing is God holds what he loves. It's personal. In Hebrews chapter 1 verse 3, it speaks about the world, the heavens, the earth, which God holds together. And in the same verse, it actually speaks and says that God sent his son and shed his blood for us. We are purchased by the precious blood of Christ. And so what you have is this immensity of God and the love of God in the same verse. So we often look at the immensity of God and think he must be so impersonal, has no heart because he's just so big, and so maybe we're so insignificant. But it's not just about size, it's about the heart of God. And God has this immense love for us, and that's seen in the shed blood of Christ for us. Number 3, God keeps us by his power. Philippians chapter 4 says, Paul says, I have learned that whatever state I am in, to be content. You know, we've often heard that scripture, I can do all things through Christ which strengthens me, and people use that out of context. But Paul was talking about his financial state, whether he had much or whether he had very little, and was suffering need. He had learned in whatever state he was in to be content, because money wasn't the issue. It was his relationship with God. And that's what it means to do all things through Christ which strengthens you. It means to have a right attitude towards material things and see God as much bigger. Now, number 4, God is enthusiastic about us. This is really really important. We are the part of creation, the only part of creation of which God says, let us make man in our image. Of nothing else it said in creation that we are made in his image. And that means we have a special place in God's heart. We look at this world sometimes as a massive playground, a huge thing to enjoy, and we're enamored with these things. But here's a thought. If we are consumed with these things of the world, our vision is too small. We need something bigger than this world. This world is not enough. Every one of us has a God-shaped hole in our hearts, and only God can fill it. When we're enamored with the things and trinkets of this world, it's like a child playing in a mud pit, eating mud pies when they could be sitting at a banquet. It's crazy. Set your eyes on things above. And I want to finish with this scripture. Set your affection on things above, not on things of the earth, for you are dead and your life is hid with Christ in God. Our God is so immense that we shouldn't be enamored with the things of this world, and he is so imminent that we can connect with him, for your life is hid with Christ in God. God bless you. See you next time.